I'm coming to you from the home of my sister and brother-in-law, Karen and Jay Grissom. We jotted down a few notes, just questions that some folks may have, and just maybe a little bit more of their story and their heart. This is my sissy, my little sissy Karen. And she's lived in this house 33 of her 46 years. I can still remember when Mom and Dad brought her home from the hospital. I had my little green and white dress on that I picked out, and we brought her right through that door. She slept all the way home. Kept wanting those little eyes to open so I could see what color they were. My goodness, we have so many memories with this house. It's meant so much to so many people. Our parents built it in 1965, and in that 60 years, no one but our family, including my mother's mother, who passed away here, with Karen holding her hand. This house has been a home away from home for my friends, for Karen's friends. It's where our parents did youth bonfires and Sunday school picnics. It's where our cousins came and played baseball and board games, and we had Christmas lunches and the big Estes New Year's brunch. This was just a place. My friends were called the Brat Pack, and Karen, even though we're almost a decade apart, was like the little mascot.
Yeah.
And we didn't drink or anything, and it was a pretty tame time, but we would have as many as 60 people. And Karen just kind of, she went out on the scavenger hunts with us. She did all kinds of cool things. So we just got memory upon memory. I mean, we can look at places outside where we scraped our knees. If you grew up in a home like that, you know what that's like.
Where we marked where I had grown over there. It's marked.
Which she never did grow up she didn't grow a whole lot. She's like half a foot shorter than I am.
And we marked where Mama was getting shorter.
Yes. Karen was getting taller, and our Mom's mom, was getting shorter and shorter, and now it's Karen that's shrinking. I don't think we haven't thought to mark it over there. I don't think we're gonna mark that one.
And it's me that has congestive heart failure.
Yeah, that's an irony. Our mama took care of so many people for so long, and was a family caregiver. And she wound up with congestive heart failure, and Karen has been in the D stage of congestive heart failure since January, and try as she might, has not been able to keep up with work. And at almost the exact same time, right before Christmas, Jay lost his job of 6 years with no notice, and so that's how we got here. These are two hard-working people who've had a series of tragedies befall them, and we just want to share a few things with you. We wanted to make sure some questions were answered, and so this is our opportunity to do this. And we're not professional actors in this setting. We're just people that love each other, that love this home. This is a couple who love each other deeply. Jay is not someone who has done things on stage. He's just a real person who loves his wife deeply. And so, he's a friendly, gregarious guy at work. But when you see him here, he's just a man who loves his wife and who is working as hard as he can at a job that pays less than his other job and offers fewer hours. So if we can get them caught up, it gives them a chance. And we're going to talk about that now. Jay moved into the house 12 years ago when they were engaged to help with mom and dad, who had dementia and other medical issues back to back. So Jay moved in as somebody who just put his shoulder to the wheel and jumped into this family feet first and helped lift my dad up when he would fall. Went to visit him when he was in hospice. Kept my mother going despite Alzheimer's during the pandemic by taking her outside and them shooting baskets. But this is the little brother I always wanted. They were married in 2014. I was lucky enough to be the matron of honor. Karen was my maid of honor when she was 16. And then our dad passed the next February in 2015. They continued to care for mom, who had Alzheimer's and dementia. And she passed in 2021 suddenly. Ironically, she had sepsis. Karen and I have both had sepsis many, many times. Karen's a miracle, just that she's still here. She's dealt with autoimmune disease just like I have since she was quite young. They lived here their whole married life. They came in, they changed out of their wedding clothes. They ate some McDonald's with part of the wedding party. And Jay got to bed and Karen got to bed, not in a fancy hotel, but here where they were helping out with mom, and they were a few minutes away from hospice. Because unfortunately Dad wasn't able to walk Karen down the aisle. This family's just been impacted by disease, left and right, but Jay's been faithful. He stood by Karen through all of it, and he has medical challenges too, and Karen's been right there with him too, from day one. They've been married 10 years.
Been married 11.
Oh, is it 11? Oh my goodness, it is 11, isn't it? It'll be 12. It'll be a dozen years on the 27th. They've lived here their whole married life, so they instantly continued to be caregivers. Jay had moved in to a spare room, and Karen was sleeping in the room with mom until they got married. Jay, what would it mean for you guys to be able to finish catching up the mortgage? We're seeing some momentum in giving. What would it mean to catch up on the mortgage and stay here a little bit longer?
Well, it would give me and Karen a peace of mind, especially me. That way I can just focus on taking care of her and her health problems right now because she's having it bad.
Yeah.
And if we're caught up in the house, that way she can pass in her own house if she chooses. She don't have to die in some stranger or hospital.
And she doesn't have to see the home that she's known and every stick of furniture that our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents had saved over the years. She doesn't have to try to...
The stress of the logistics.
Oh my gosh.
Suddenly losing everything while I'm in the last days of my life.
And I know it's hard for you to speak up because of the oxygen. That's part of why we have
I'm
notes.
just quiet.
She's always been quiet anyway. But you know, the oxygen level to Karen's brain right now is causing some brain fog. You know, we've got some some challenges here that we're gonna overcome. So if it's a little hard to hear Karen, could you say that one more time? I know you're probably gonna have to rest in a little bit, but let's if you could talk about that again for just a second.
I can't remember what you asked me.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. This is congestive heart failure. This is real life. It's all right. It's all right.
I don't know what I just said.
It's okay. We were just talking about, not having to try to,
The logistics of trying to figure everything out.
Empty out the attic.
There's no time to do any of that, and then to survive after. I just don't think I would make it through it, and logistically, I don't think there's any way.
Yeah.
I just can't even.
You can't even think that far. It's hard.
If we didn't have this hanging over our heads, like he said, we could focus on my health.
Yeah.
And it would give us more time to create some kind of plan for our near future and his long-term future, which is what's really important to us.
Yeah.
That's peace of mind is really, I guess, what we're asking for.
You want that peace like a river in your soul. Sweet Karen went to church with me yesterday, and our church prayed for her. And she could sing just a little bit, but oh, this girl has had a voice. We've sung so many goofy Barbra Streisand songs. We've always been girls who sang. But her voice is a lot quieter now, just because, she's needing to go on oxygen. So it's hard to get the words out sometimes.
I have a lot of congestion, and it causes you to sound kind of
hoarse.
Yeah.
So, if you're not able to make the payment, and the 10th is the last day that we know they can take it and stop the sale on the 17th,
yeah.
Right? If you're not able to do that, what would that mean for you guys?
Scary.
Oh gosh.
No hope.
It would literally mean losing everything.
I will lose my wife. She will die probably instantly.
Feel like she died of a broken heart.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, we're a close-knit family, and Joe's not wrong. This is breaking Karen's heart. This is making this process so much harder. But I do think it would be really hard for her to carry on.
Well, I feel like if we lose the house, it'll be the final straw that broke the camel's back for her.
I do too.
So,
Yeah.
I just feel like it would break her heart completely, and she'll have no will to live, and so she'll just stop fighting.
We have 6 feral cats and one special needs indoor cat that would be losing their home too, and the likelihood of them being able to thrive again. I don't see any hope for that, which also breaks my heart and makes me feel like a failure.
Oh.
Because I think that when you rescue an animal, it's like God sends that animal to you to be rescued, and so I feel like I've let them down.
And you haven't.
We both feel like we've let down our cats and our family.
Oh no.
And each other sometimes. We've just tried our best, but...
Well, you guys have given and given and given.
We're not perfect.
Nobody is. But
we make mistakes, but also we just can't do more than what we can do.
right.
And so we just try every day.
And we have some really good ideas of ways that we can get it caught up, we can keep it caught up, and hopefully that Jay would be able to stay on here, maybe with roommates, maybe renting out some space for bands to come and practice. You know, there are a lot of opportunities. Karen's got some designs for the Jolton Goats that would bring some income in, but right now we just have to catch this up. And we're seeing some momentum, but it's got to be every day. So I'm going to be contacting people. Jason's going to be contacting people that we know and reaching out on your behalf. We're not going to go. Hopefully we don't have to go from this wonderful house, but we're not going to go from your lives. We're with you. But, you know, animal lovers, reach out to your animal lover friends. These are people that, these cats will interact with them. And they made sure these animals were fixed and taken care of. They've often gone without themselves so that the pets are taken care of. Just like our mother and myself and Jason, Karen and Jay lost babies, but they've been such good aunts and uncle and friend and sister and daughter and son-in-law that was like a son. These are people who care, and they just need to see that people care about them. I don't know if we can put everything into words, but the devastation that we're looking at in just weeks, it's so hard to take. And even a small donation keeps things going and gives them hope. Your compassionate donation of any size really does make a difference. Please, if you're hearing my voice, if you're seeing these genuine tears, if you're seeing the care and concern in this man's face, life has beaten them down. Please help us hold them up. If you are a believer, please pray about what God would have you do to help them. And show them that they don't just have each other, but there's a whole community out there of people that maybe they've never met or heard of, who just want to be kind to people, who gave so much that it broke their hearts. It's broken hers. Maybe it can heal a little bit and it can extend her life by a few months if we can just pull off the stress. That's not a lot to ask for. When you really look at it, if enough people give moderate donations, it's not going to be that much to come up with. You're not that many months behind. And their regular mortgage is not a high mortgage. It's all the added fees that they tack on. But their
We could never afford to live anywhere else.
No, their property tax is rolled in with their mortgage. I don't think there's Section 8 if you could get on a wait list somewhere, which doesn't happen. That is nowhere near how affordable the mortgage on this house actually is. And there's not that much owed on the house. It would be
losing 2/3 of the value of the home.
It really
More
would.
than.
So if you're hearing my voice, if you're hearing Karen's smaller voice, but still a really important voice in this, and you see Jay, my brother-in-law, who loves her so much, please reach out and help them. 5 years ago, they had a tough situation, and people really came through for them and for my mom at that time. And we didn't expect to be here 5 years later. We didn't expect for Karen's health to take the turn that it has. She's she's always been such a hard worker that she kept thinking even after the diagnosis got worse that she'd be able to somehow push herself and keep going, but there are days where her body is so fatigued and her circulation is so bad, it's hard for her to raise her arms to brush her hair. She hasn't had a haircut in years.
Yeah.
You know, an actual haircut. So if you know how to do that, go ahead and get in touch with us and maybe you can come and trim her hair.
Oh, we're not worried about it. All we think about
Is the house.
is getting
Getting the house caught up and having a peace of mind for her to take care of her.
Yeah.
That's all I think about.
From the time you get up to the time you go to bed, although last night you didn't sleep at all. This next 10 days really, this is our last chance. Please don't wait to see if it goes up higher because you think you'll help out on the tail end. It's better if you can help with a small donation now and keep checking back. And if we need 1,000 at the end, you could maybe do another small donation. That's great. But every donation that comes in gives them a little bit more hope. And hope right now is their oxygen. I love you, Karen. I love you, Jay.
We love you too.
And
thank you for listening.
Yes.
thank you.